What's up, everyone? It's your boy Kush from Football Kush, Milan Corner. Yes, once again, I'm back from a long trip. I was away for about 7 weeks. I went throughout parts of Asia. You guys have to understand one thing about me. I'm a bit too much of a unnecessary traveler. I'm not giving you guys enough accountability as to when I'm going to be back, but I am back now, and we're back for the final 8 match days. We're back for the Champions League, which is hopefully going to go beyond what we see right now. A tough 1-0 win for Milan. I think we could have gotten at least 2 or 3 goals out of that last 10-minute period when Anguissa was sent off. But it's been a tough time for Milan in the Serie A. We're not getting the right results consistently, so I decided that, you know what, I'm back in Toronto now. I came back a couple days back, and it's time to get back into things. Time to get back to the game. A lot of changes made today. Lots of changes made by Stefano Pioli. I don't know. It's one of those things where he's been getting criticized for in the past too, is Padre Pioli, you're making too many changes. We're not getting the right results. What do we do? But here's what I know about the amount of changes that he's made. Here's one thing that's for sure. Milan wants to go into the next round of the Champions League, and they believe they can do that. That's the only reason why he's made, 11 changes? That has to be the reason why, because the team genuinely believes that a semi-final in the Champions League is possible. And then you just play Serie A sides. I mean, we're playing a Serie A side right now. Dominated them 4-0. Beat them 1-0. And beyond this, what's going to happen? You're going to play Inter? Inter is a toss-up. That's a game Milan can win. What's going to happen then? Are we seriously saying that suddenly we're going to be in the Champions League final, possibly? Or one of the Milan clubs are going to be the Champions League final? All right, let's get through the quarterfinal first. I mean, I don't want to jump to the finals already. Let's get through the quarterfinals first. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you have to keep an eye on. And the fact that there's a possibility, a strong possibility, that this team might actually make it to the Champions League final. Now, just trying to work things out here. You know, I'm a little bit rusty. Mike Maignan is back out. That's the one change that Stefano Pioli did not decide to make, and I'm glad he did it. He kept Maignan on. Maignan is actually the reason why Milan is still holding on to that clean sheet against Napoli. The kind of saves that this guy made it possible for us to be able to hold on to that. Let me go through some of your nice comments here. Yes, I am alive. I did see your comment. You did mention that I was dead, but I'm not dead. I look pretty decent to be dead. You're back suddenly. Yes, I am back suddenly. That's kind of what I do, right? Before I actually left to go to Asia, I did let you guys know that I'm going to be gone for a little bit. The plan wasn't really to be out for that long. And the second part of that plan was that I'm going to be making content from Thailand, India. Like, I went to a bunch of places. The plan was that I'm going to make content from there. Guys, it didn't work at all. It's very hard to be able to make content outside of this studio. This studio makes me actually want to work. The mic's here, everything's here, so it's a lot easier to work here. But if I'm outside of here, it's very hard. Kush is back. Yes, I am back. Thank you very much. I see you're back as well. I'm late. Welcome back. Oh, my friend, Miss Mash is still here. Weather is getting nice too in Italy, right? It would be nice to go to Milan right now too. My cousin's going to Milan in a couple days, and I'm like, yo, you have to watch a couple of Milan games if you can. She's there for about 2 weeks. Weather's getting nice here in Toronto as well. It doesn't feel as crazy because I was in Asia. Weather there was fantastic. Like in Thailand, I was on the beach, and you know, it's gonna be nice in Phuket, in Bangkok, parts of India. Weather was great, so I don't really feel that much of a difference in terms of cold because I haven't really felt a lot of cold in the past few days. But let's get 3 points. Yes, my friend, that's what hold on. Our expectation was just going into the knockout stage, but now we're talking about a possible final. That is crazy. Yes, that's in reference to the Champions League. There's no question about that. And it also has to do with the draws, right? The draws have been not favorable because Champions League is going to be tough, but they've been somewhat decent, right? Seeing how Inter performed against Benfica, they have the 2-0 lead. Milan has a 1-0 lead over Napoli. Still doesn't necessarily mean that either of those two sides are going to make it into the semifinal. Napoli might still be the favorites in the Champions League? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think Napoli are the favorites? Because at this point in time, considering the fact that Milan wasn't able to capitalize on that 1-0 lead, after Anguissa's red card, which was a little bit dodgy, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't think that was necessarily a red. It was questionable. The whole thing was a little bit questionable. I understand Napoli fans being upset with the referees. I don't understand the 150 million euro lawsuit that the class action that the fans or some groups are putting together against UEFA. That's stupidity. But beyond that, I mean, I understand their fans being frustrated. And after he got that red, we should have doubled up. That's the reality, is that we should have doubled up. We should have maybe had 3 goals. Then we would have completely knocked them out of the tie. But the fact that we weren't able to capitalize on that 1-0 and that red card, and we're just going back into the match with a 1-0 line to Naples, the game's still open, guys. I think maybe a little bit in favor of Napoli, actually. So we have kickoff here. Let's jump into the lineup here. Let's get the momentum going here. Let's get the play-by-play. Sansone. This is not good. Fode Balotelli. Come on, get him out. Balotelli just passes it back to the Bologna player. That's a dangerous cross. Goal! Oh, my goodness. That's a goal inside 35 seconds, guys. That's what happens when you make 11 changes, I guess, right? After all the saves that Mike Maignan made against Napoli. Wow. What happened here? So there was a pass on Fode Balotelli's side. He tries to defend it, passes it back to them. Ante Rebic with some terrible defending. Easy pass. Terrible defense from who? Who was that? Was that Kalulu? Yeah, Kalulu went to sleep for sure. I mean, we need Champions League football. This is not good, but I'm going to have to close my door. I'm getting a little bit of noise from outside. Hold on one sec, guys. All right, so it looks like they're checking something on VAR, but I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Yep, there isn't, and that's a goal for Bologna. So a goal inside a minute. Let's see how happily you guys are reacting to that. Let me see what's going on here. Hold on one second. Just trying to fix this for you guys. Yeah, this is bad. This is very bad for Milan. Incredible. Oh, God. This is not good, guys. Just trying to fix something for you guys here. The formations part in this. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this. I'd rather have you guys have a good experience. Without a production guy, without a Jamie, it's not very easy for me to do that. But here we go. So that's really what's happening here for Milan. How long has it been since Bologna has beaten Milan at the Delara? Long time. Yeah, of course, Mike's going to be livid about this one. What is happening here? Hold on. Come on, guys. Work for me. Today's day one. Back to streaming. Don't make this hard. There we go. There are your comments. It's nice seeing rotation player, not too high expectation. Let's focus on the Champions League. Man, but we need Champions League football, though. We need it next season. Is the only way we're going to make Champions League football is by actually winning the Champions League. I mean, that seems like a tall ask to me for Milan to actually go that far. All right, let's see what these guys do. We're about 5 minutes in now. And this is not good. It was a penalty at the end. Are you talking about Champions League game or are you talking about Bologna Milan? This is just incredible. It's incredible, but at the same time, it's semi-believable because Milan just hasn't been playing very well, right? So what do you expect them to really do? Malik Chow. Just the movement from Milan is going to be so different today. Just look at the passing. I mean, there's just no fluidity there, which you also cannot expect from a bunch of from guys who are not actually regulars, right? You cannot expect them to pass the ball the way Teo and Leao pass the ball between each other. They're not going to do that. That's a lovely ball. Ante Rebic. That was a fantastic ball from, I don't know, from the right flank. I think that was Malik from Kalulu maybe. But that was a great pass to Ante Rebic, and Rebic just fluffed that one. Could have had a shot on target. Nothing really happened there. And the only thing is that Bologna has a lead, but they have a lead from very early on. I mean, it's just never a good thing to get a lead in the 30th second of the match because you open yourselves up for the next 90 plus minutes, and most of the times the opposition is going to get a goal, and I don't really doubt that. And I'm going to have to bring out my phone. I'm going to see what the betting sites are saying right now about Milan's chances, because I'm going to put some money on Milan to win today's match because I do believe that they're going to win today's match. Oh, De Ketelaere almost got that one. Oh my God. Why do I need all these answers? I'm trying to place a bet and they're asking me for my employment status and occupation, and come on, Ontario, enough of the regulations. Ante Rebic from the left flank. That was a decent ball, but couldn't work. Who's that? Vronx to the left flank for the Baloture. Ante Rebic from the left flank. That was a decent ball, but not really aimed very well. Industry. Real estate. Honestly, guys, I'm just looking at these betting websites in Ontario. They're just so freaking annoying. It's like so much freaking regulation in this country. It's frustrating. Let a man just go on the betting website and put a bet in. They want to know my employment status, how long I've been working. Dude, game's time sensitive. Just let me put some money on, then ask me all these questions. Talking like a proper addict here. I'm not, though. I don't really bet that much. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. I remember telling some folks as soon as I saw the expected lineup earlier this week, it was going to be a 2-0 Bologna. I mean, everybody has been a little bit concerned about the number of changes that Pioli's made. There's some understanding as to why he's making those. Obviously, the Champions League is going to be a reason why we're going to rest a bunch of players. Is it the right thing to do? Maybe, maybe not. The Champions League match for Milan is when? I think it's on Tuesday, right? Man, we got a bad roll of the dice there, because we got a Wednesday game, a Saturday game, and then a Tuesday game. So obviously the players are going to be tired. He wants to prioritize Champions League. We're obviously like 1-0 up. If we were down 3-0 against Napoli, we probably would have played a different formation today. But the fact that we're 1-0 up and it's very, very tight margin, I think he just wants his players very, very well rested. So he's taking that chance. He probably relies on the fact that, hey, we got 7 matches to go in Serie A after this one, I think. And we got only 1 match to go in the Champions League to get the right results. That's a decent dink by Fodebalo today. Makes a run on the left flank, but I think he overhit that one for himself. Nope, keeps control. That gets out from Bologna. That should be a Milan throw-in for sure. That is. We're about 10 minutes in. Milan's down 1-0. 32nd goal, pretty much. From, who was it? Arnautovic? Not sure. But, yeah, I mean, I understand why Pioli made these changes. You can't get everything, guys. You know, you can blame your ownership group for that. The fact that we don't have as much depth, where if we rest these players, this is all that we got left. But you can't really blame Pioli for that. Pioli's keeping an eye on Champions League. He's saying, hey, I want to get into the next round of the Champions League. A Milan coach has not gotten us into the semifinals probably since the year that we won in 2007. Right? So a Milan coach has not gotten Milan to a Champions League semifinal. He will be the first one to be able to do that if he gets the right result on Tuesday. And he wants to be that guy. And he wants to rest his players for the Tuesday match. And if he rests them, this is all that he's got left. So can't really blame Pioli for that. Have to blame the ownership. Have to blame the management for the amount of depth that we have. I mean, Bologna started off well, got that goal, but they've kind of sat back now. And Milan's probably going to keep attacking. At some point in time, maybe an hour in, we're going to bring our main guys in, probably Leao and those guys, just to get a little bit of a boost, depending on how the scoreline goes. I don't think Ibrahimovic is available. No, he's not. I'm pretty sure he's injured. Didn't think it would be this quick though. Yeah, that's for sure. Right. Didn't think it was going to be a 24-second goal. I've seen a lot of people upset at Pioli for the changes, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was a directive from higher up in the organization that he had to sit guys. Yeah, I mean, I kind of already talked about that right now. I don't even think it's the higher ups. I think it's probably just, obviously, I'm sure there's communication between Pioli and Maldini and the management when they're at the training ground as to, hey, what do you plan on doing on Saturday? And he's going to be like, hey, look, I'm planning on resting a bunch of these guys. And then the management gives their take, and then obviously Pioli makes the final decision. But I also understand why Pioli's doing that. He wants to be the first coach to get us into the semifinals since 2007. Pioli did the right choice rotating everything, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so too. I'm there with you. Welcome back, brother Forza Milan. Thank you very much for the kind welcome back. I'm happy to be back. I'm back in Toronto now, so it's going to be easier to make content now. Asia is a tough place to make content. First of all, the time change. If I have to watch a game in Asia, it's like at 2:30 at night. I'm like, man, this is going to be a tough one to make a video about. Internet quality isn't the same. I could make some timeless pieces, which I planned on, but man, when I go to India, when I go to Thailand, when I go to these countries, there's just too much partying happening, usually. So it gets very tough to do that. But that was a plan. This was a trip that I had to take for a long time. I had a friend's wedding in India, so I had to go. There was no way around it. But now I know that for the next 6 to 8 months, I don't have any plans. Except for next month, I'm going to Mexico, but that's only going to be a few days. Another wedding that I have to go for. There's a lot that Milan has to expect now from Ante Rebic in this situation, because he's wearing the captain's armband. His future at Milan is pretty much set now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be leaving this Mercato. I don't think he's going to be staying beyond this season. It would be very surprising if Ante Rebic somehow decides to stay at Milan now. I think he's going to leave, but I think he wants to be... I don't think he's going to have the Kessie impact of actually helping us win the Serie A title, but he wants to leave. He wants to leave his mark. He probably even partly wants to fight for his place. I think he likes being here, but he's getting absolutely next to no play time now. One thing that can happen is that Milan lets go of Origi, which would actually really surprise me. I've read some articles saying that Milan's going to let go of Origi. I don't think Milan's going to let go of Origi. If there's anything that this management has shown us, as I've said 1,000 times in my videos, they are patient. They want to wait for players to actually be able to perform well. Divock Origi on the ball. On the ball. On the ball. Back heel for Fode Balotelli from the left flank. Balotelli. Just no zip in Milan's passing, man. Pobega. It's just average players. Average players playing in average manners. Kalulu. Florenzi on the right flank. Nice to see Florenzi on the field. Kalulu. Goes back to Mike Mignon. Mike to Malik Chow. Chow goes back to Fode Balotelli. Oh my goodness, Balotelli, what are you doing? Why are you making such linear runs? Move forward, my friend. Just moving across the field for no reason. Yeah, so... oh, that's a nice passing for the Balotelli. Balotelli to Pobega. Who's that? Alexis Salamakers, not Pobega. Oh, Alexis is on the field. So Alexis is really our main point of attack. He has to be. He's the best one on the field. I think he's better than Ante in terms of being able to... actually, Ante's pretty good too. Just doesn't get a lot of play time now. That's a good ball possible. Divock Origi with a nice dink. Is that offside? It's not offside. It is offside. It's hard to be patient with somebody earning as much as Origi and who has shown absolutely zero potential here, especially at his age. Keep in mind, man, it's new league, new system, new team. Entire team has been struggling. A lot of injury issues for himself, for Milan as well. I think there is a degree of extra patience that maybe sometimes we give to certain players. Origi might be one of those players that we're being very patient. Well, we're not being patient with. Maybe I'm being patient with. But what I have, as I've already said, the management just seems to want to wait it out and see how a player performs over a couple seasons before they let them go. You look at the fact that Ante Rebic was rumored to be leaving too last Mercato. He didn't leave. Milan brought in a striker, but they never let Ante Rebic go. Same thing with Alexis Salamakers. They held on to him. Initially, he played pretty good in the Champions League for Milan. I'm talking about Alexis. And you just go through the names. You can see all these players that Milan's given time to. So, the one player that we really need something from is De Ketelaere, but we're what? I still remember when Milan signed him. In my video when Milan signed him, I was like, what did I even say? That the fans have to be patient with him. We gave Leao 2 seasons. We gave Sandro Tonali 1 full season to be able to prove himself. We got to give De Ketelaere time. Probably in my time of watching Milan, especially the price tag that we paid for him and the amount of noise that was around his purchase. Who's passing this ball like a maniac? Who is that? Vronks, my friend. That's some fantastic dribbling. Tight spaces, held onto the ball. But yeah, the amount of criticism, the amount of signings that Milan has made over the past 15 years that I've been watching this team, I don't think any signing has disappointed as much as De Ketelaere. And 30 games into the season, I think it's a fair point of reflection to be able to say that. For the price tag and for the amount of noise that was around that signing, simply because Milan hadn't made a big signing in a few seasons. Jeez. It's been really bad. And I don't know how much of it is going to be blamed on Maldini and those guys, because Maldini and those guys have also made some fantastic small-time signings that have turned out to be big players. But the one big player that they signed, man, that guy flopped big time. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. I'm actually really curious about your take on this. Do you think Milan holds on to De Ketelaere? Do you think there's any possibility that they sell him or loan him out or something? I mean, Milan's not a loaning club, not for a 30 million euro player. I don't think they loan those players. But I'm just very curious to know what you guys think. Do you think Milan lets go of De Ketelaere? Do you think Milan lets go of Origi? Keep in mind, Origi is a free signing. Yes, they paid him a higher salary, but they paid him a higher salary because they were getting him for free. So they were saving a lot on the transfer cost. So for that reason, they can pay him a little bit more when it comes to his own wages. But, geez, we paid a lot of money for De Ketelaere, and we got nothing out of him up until now. The only thing that I think the entire season, I've missed a few games now for Milan while I was overseas. The entirety of the season, I think he's only gotten one assist. And that was actually against Bologna. Alexis Salamaker's on the ball on the right flank. Passes that out. Nice to Vronks. Vronks goes back to Florenzi. Is Florenzi going to cross this? No. Alexis on the right. Tekatlar. Can he cross this ball in? Can he get his second assist of the season? No. Alexis from the right. Alexis with a cross. That was not a bad cross from Alexis with his left foot. Probably could have waited that out a little bit maybe. CDK has at least shown potential and is still young. He has another 2 years here minimum. Yeah. If Milan can be patient with someone like Rebic, naturally they should be patient with CDK. Something tells me, though, with De Ketelaere, two things are going to define the future of Charles De Ketelaere. Two parts. Firstly is what's happening with Brahim Diaz. If Milan's holding on to Brahim Diaz and he performs the way that he's been performing, that's a good ball in. Ante Rebic! That was right on target, right on Ante's head. That was right into the arms of Skorupski. Sorry if I yelled. That was a fantastic cross from someone from the right flank. I think it was Florenzi. And Ante got a clean header there, completely unmarked, or really not marked properly. And he hits that right to Skorupski. Can De Ketelaere get the ball? Yes, he does. He wins the ball away from Alexis. That's a nice turn. That should be a free kick for Milan. Yes, it is. So I do agree with you. Rangers King 669. Oh man, I forgot the bandana. See, that's what happens when you haven't been making content for a while. You forget your usuals. You know what I realized about wearing a bandana, by the way, guys? Because usually in Canada, I just wear them when I'm making videos. I don't really wear them outside of that. But when I go to Thailand and stuff, I started wearing them more. Dude, that thing makes you lose your hair. I started losing my hair here just from wearing the bandana. Like I could feel the difference. So watch out. Hair bands, bandanas, they're going to make you lose your hair. I stopped pretty quick, though, I realized. Let's see how this free kick is going to play out. Florenzi stepping on that along with CDK. Can Florenzi get Milan back into this? Alessandro Florenzi had a couple of important goals last season when Milan won the Serie A title. Can he get his first of the season, or is it going to be CDK who takes this? Florenzi does step up. Florenzi! Oh, what a shot from Florenzi. That needed a decent save from Skorupski. I think that might have gotten a deflection just seeing how the ball kind of traveled there. No, didn't get a deflection at all. That was a pretty decent save from Skorupski. He was pretty much horizontal there. Had to stop that from Florenzi. Nice work from Alessandro. Florenzi stepping up now for the corner kick. In the absence of Sandro Tonali, none of the first team players. Florenzi's the one who's been given the responsibility of taking free kicks, given the responsibility of taking the corner kicks. Let's see what Milan can do here. Florenzi. Not a best ball, but actually did something there. Can Vronks get that back to Florenzi? Yes, on the right flank. Florenzi with the first time cross. That's a good ball in. Is that going to be a shot from Alexis Salamakers from outside the box? Oh, that was a deflection. I thought that was going... Oh. Definitely there was something there. There was definitely something there. What budget do you think we will have next season? Also, I think CDK and Origi will stay and Ante will leave. I do agree with you there. What budget will we have next season? I guess it depends on the results, guys. Can we make the Champions League or not? If we don't make the Champions League, which at this point in time, seeing this result is a huge risk, that's going to drastically impact what Milan's budget is going to be. Something in my head just said, what if we just get our 8th Champions League title? Doesn't matter where we finish. We're going to make it back into the Champions League, but that would be an insane outcome. I'm also getting a headache thinking about that because that requires some serious jumping through hoops. Milan has to beat Napoli, then Inter has to mess up, and Milan has to capitalize, and Milan's getting into the final. Then they're probably going to play Manchester City. Manchester City is not an easy team to play at all, but you know they kind of go hot and cold at times in the big games. And before you know it, we lift our 8th title. Let's just get 3 points here today. That's way more important right now, in my opinion. Origi. That goes out for a corner kick from Milan. Yeah, I think, again, the budget is going to be dictated by our positioning. Do we make it to the Champions League? How well do we do in this season's Champions League? Because Milan's made a lot of money. I think from the match against Napoli alone, we made 8 million euros. 8 million euros from the gate, from ticket sales at the San Siro for Milan-Napoli in the Champions League quarterfinal. That's what you need. You need revenue, and then you can actually reinvest it back into the club. Florenzi with the corner kick. That's a decent ball. That went for, I think, Origi or Pobega. Origi just doesn't provide anything even when he's healthy. Chow has arguably more of a threat offensively, just with his aerial presence, than anything Origi has done all season. Origi has really not... He's scored some good quality goals from outside the box and all that, but there's no reliability factor with Divock Origi. Milan's still dependent on Olivier Giroud, which is not the best thing. That's nice work from Ante Rebic. Wins the ball from Bologna. Turn around, cross the ball. That he does cross the ball in. Can Alexis get on this? Use a teammate, Alexis. Use a teammate, Alexis. That's where you got to capitalize on your positioning. All you have to do is pass it out to Pobega, pass it out to Florenzi, but you want to dribble it past guys and then they win it off of you. Did look like it may have been a free kick though. Bologna coming back on the counter. Really, it's been all Milan. After that 30th-second goal, for the past 25 minutes, Bologna has not really threatened. I don't think they've even gotten a shot on target since then. It's all been Milan really trying to attack. Can Milan get this ball? He does win that. Possession to Fode. Only thing about Balotelli is he's going to lose the ball. I've noticed that about him. Davide Massa is not very happy with how Ante Rebic reacted to that, but that should have definitely been a free kick, and I think it was eventually given as a free kick. Ooh, what happened there with Alexis and the other guy? Oh, is that a tangling of legs? Is that a penalty for Milan? Doesn't look like it. No VAR called in there. The way Brahim is playing on the right wing, though, there might be a future where Brahim plays right wing and CDK plays number 10, though Benasset has been roaming forward a lot lately too. Yeah, it's one of those things where Benasset is doing what Kessie was doing the season before, where he was becoming a trequartista pretty much, playing behind the striker. And, oh my goodness, Fode Balotelli loses the ball there. Bologna back in attack. Is he going to cross the ball in? Bologna coming in on attack. Dangerous. If Brahim Diaz can hold on to that role that he's been given, and he is a lot more fluid, right? He can kind of move around. Milan can switch into a 4-3-3 at times when they're playing, especially with Krunic. Tonali and Benacer check back. Brahim Diaz can play behind the striker. There's a lot that Milan can do with players that have versatility. That has to be a free kick. Not given for Bologna. I have my doubts that Milan can play CDK and Brahim together. I don't know if that's really possible, because there's a difference between a starting position and starting formation and how your team kind of starts off, and then how they kind of move around and switch positions. And Brahim does tend to play, eventually tends to get a lot more central, and he's going to eat into the space that CDK is going to need to be able to express himself. I just don't think that tandem works together. But if Pioli can make him work strictly on the right flank and play CDK behind the striker, then, something could happen. But really, what have we seen from CDK to have any type of confidence that anything is possible? Nothing really. he puts in some decent performances here and there, but there's nothing that translates on paper. No goals, no assists. You need, at a certain point, 31 games into the season, you need tangible outcomes. 3, 10, 15 games into the season, you can look at a player's performance and say he's performing well, he's trying his best, he's doing a decent job. But eventually you need more assistance than just that. And that is a free kick given for Milan at the edge of the box. Ante Rebic won that one. The match ain't even on BT Sport. This one? Yeah, I'm not surprised, my friend. Where are you? Are you in England? Was annoyed when I checked. I don't know what you're referring to, but I know what you mean. I feel like you're Milan. With how little you had to invest in Origi outside of salary, you might as well just cut your losses instead of, if you're Milan, got it. Instead of wasting space in your squad on somebody who adds nothing. The thing is, he's added a lot for the teams that he's played for in the past. And Milan is banking on the fact that he might be entering his prime, at least age-wise. Maybe not performance-wise, but age-wise, and you can capitalize on all the experience he's gained in the past. But again, as I said with CDK, has to translate on paper. I feel like Florenzi should actually pass this ball to Franks, to be honest. Because the amount of space that they're giving Franks, he should just pass the ball to him. No, he didn't. Oh, Franks. Oh, someone take a shot. Florenzi. Goes out to Alexis on the right. Alexis got to Ante. Nice pass. Ante. Cross the ball in. Decent cross in for Ante. Is that a corner? Yeah, I think that's a corner kick. I think about that time when Chelsea finished bad in the Premier League and they won the Champions League. Yeah, I mean, Milan's played bad in Serie A and won the Champions League. I think 2007 when we won the Champions League, I don't think we performed very well in Serie A. What's everyone watching the game on? Let them know. It's painful to watch this game of football. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, the quality isn't quite there. Florenzi from the corner kick. Decent ball in. Come on, man. You're not even beating the second guy. Half an hour in Milanisti. This match sits 1-0 for Bologna. Definitely not what we came here for. Somehow, we're also not surprised that this is happening. To everyone who's watching the game right now, I want to make a request to you guys. If you can... if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. And if you haven't, please make sure you like this stream. Apparently, that is a good thing when streams get liked. Gets out to more people, channel grows, more people watch, and I can make more content. Although I'm back now, I'll probably be making a bunch of stuff to get you guys back in my good books. Man, I'm just looking at this patch. Holy, look at how much I grade. I grade fast, guys. That's the reality. Do you think I'm 40? Because I'm definitely not. I started grading when I was 16 years old. This beard is almost 80% gray. I just don't like it to be that gray because I look like I'm like in my late 30s or 40s and I'm not even close to that. But yeah, I started graying when I was 16, 17 years old. So that's why you see a lot of grays on my head, by the way. I like it. 32 minutes in. This one sits 1-0 for Bologna. Not a good thing for Milan. I'm actually going to work this thing around, see what's happening in the standings. Because I'm curious to know what Milan is up to here. We're almost at halftime. Halfway point. See, there obviously, understandably so, there are some people with, their comments. Let me just take this comment off. Boom. It's understandable that some people get frustrated with how Milan is kind of playing. Matteo Bonetti, this rotation is already backfiring, which, a lot of us did expect would happen. But the reality is that what could Padre Pioli really have done at the end of the day? Man, so much political stuff on Twitter now. I'm just trying to see some Milan-related stuff. Oh, that was right across the face of goal. Someone could have gotten to that. Florenzi keeps the ball in. Lovely work from Alessandro for his age. Oh, man, it's offside. Nice. All that work from Florenzi for nothing. Was that really offside? Oof, tight call, but definitely did look offside. Oh, he did step on him. I shouldn't show that because they're going to do something to my stream. But yeah, it does look like it may have been a penalty. May have. De Ketelaere is really the face on this Milan post, and they really desperately need something from him more than anyone else. That's for sure. I don't think a CDK Brahim tandem works this season, but this offseason going into next season, they can try working on it. Going into this season, Brahim wasn't getting work on right wing. Let's be real. Going into this season, Brahim Diaz was not even expected to be a starter. The plan was that CDK is going to be our number 10 and Brahim's going to sit on the bench. And seeing how Milan has performed, I feel like I have a lot more faith in Milan's ability and Milan's performances when Brahim is actually starting ahead of CDK, as probably all of us do at this point in time. So yeah, there's been a lot of things that didn't unfold the way that we had expected it to fold. Really, the whole season hasn't unfolded the way we expected it. I don't think anybody was really thinking after Insigne's departure and all the changes that Napoli went through. I don't think much of people were thinking that of all teams, Napoli is going to be winning the Serie A title, which, let's be real, they are going to be at this point in time. For the Balotelli with the cross from the right. That was a good ball for whom? For Ante Rebic. Isn't that a corner kick? Yeah, that has to be a corner kick. That was a good ball from Fode. Oh, that's definitely not a corner kick. That looked like it came off of Rebic. How are they giving that as a corner? That does not look like it was a corner. Wow, how does he just change his mind? Hold on, they were all getting ready for a corner kick. How does a referee just change his mind and say this is not a corner kick? You can't have VAR in that. There's no way that the referee on the far side saw with Ante Rebic's back on him as to what happened. All right, Bologna is on a dangerous attack here. Milan cannot close out the first half the way they started the first half. Mike Maignan was almost forced into a save. A shot from outside the box from a Bologna player whose name sounds a little hard to pronounce. Rebic. I mean, that was a decent shot, to be honest. Mike was almost forced into a save there, but nothing comes out of that. Milan really has no teeth to their... I was going to say no teeth to their bark or their bite, but they're not even really barking or biting. They're just doing nothing, really. They're just kind of going through the motions, passing the ball forward, trying to launch the ball in, nothing comes up, and they just try to do that again. De Ketelaere from the left flank passes it out to Ante Rebic. Ante Rebic with a nice ball to De Ketelaere. De Ketelaere with a decent ball in. Once again, nobody in there. That's what I'm saying. They're just going through the motions, carrying the ball to the front, crossing the ball in with nobody getting on the end of it. Once again, Ante Rebic with a cross there. Nobody gets to the end of it. That's all that Milan is doing. It's like there's no accuracy to the ball when you're passing it in. There's no accuracy or timing from your teammates when it comes to getting to the end of the ball. And those two things are what are basically dictating the game. They just keep going back and forth doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, let's be real here. Milan cannot possibly drop points here. We had a better team in 2007. Of course, my friend. We had one of the best teams in 2007. That's the reality. What channel are you watching on? Oh, I'm watching on Fubo TV, my friend. I don't know where you guys are. I'm in Toronto. And in Canada, in Toronto and Ontario, we watch the games on Fubo TV. Fubo Sports Live, actually. That's what I have my subscription on. De Ketelaere. Ante Rebic loses the ball. The concerning part to me is what happens Milan has dictated possession, that's for sure. But we're not really doing much with it. It's like the Milan from the Banter era where we pretty much held on to the ball but didn't really do much for the Balotelli with the cross in. Is that going to go to Divock Origi? It does, but Skorupski gets the ball. Not considered a foul there. This is an important comment I want to show you guys from Napoli Talk, right? So this gives you an idea, right? AC Milan is really risking it all. Incredible lineup in the middle of a top 4 fight. That's what it is, right? They believe that they can get into the semifinal of the Champions League. That probably, let's be real, guys. That doesn't make a lot of sense. That will have a lot of financial benefit for the club, obviously, but you still need Champions League football next season. I think the way that Milan might see it as is, well, let's have faith in these backup players to get the result against a team like Bologna, which are not a bad team. They're number 8 in the table. Florenzi from the right flank. Bronx. With a 1-0, Milan stays within touching distance still, right? With a 1-0, if you make your substitutions at the 60th minute mark or the 70th minute mark, you can still get back into the game with your star players. For the Balotelli with a decent cross in. Balotelli has not actually been bad. Initially, my expectation from Balotelli was at least because of... Oh, take a shot. Pobega goal! What a ball! What a goal! Let's go. Pobega, what a shot from outside the box. Fantastic. That's what we're talking about. See, we stay within touching distance. Now Milan's 1-1. Now we see what happens in the 60th minute. That's what you try to do. You try to have some faith in your players, some trust in your backup players, and you say, hey, you know what? We're going to roll the dice in the Champions League, and we're going to try and have some trust in our backup players, have some trust in our coach, try and get the right result against this 8th place Bologna side. We're still just tied. I mean, let's be real. We're not winning this right now. We're just 1-1 in, but that's a fantastic goal from Pobega outside the box. Lovely strike. Hits the crossbar, hits the goalpost, helps him in. Fantastic work from Pobega. I mean, that's a phenomenal goal from a player who really hasn't been getting a lot of playtime at Milan. So this is exactly what Milan needed. We can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief because now Milan can actually believe that maybe, just maybe, they might get something out there. And where have you been? Oh, where have I been? I already talked about that at the beginning of the stream. I've been everywhere, man. I was traveling throughout India. I was traveling parts of Thailand. Plan was to go to Indonesia as well. Basically, I've been traveling for the past 7 weeks. I did the math and I checked my dates. Sometimes I just book a one-way ticket to Asia and I just travel around. The plan this time was not to ignore Football Kush. The plan was to make content. It was just very hard to make it. I did make some videos, but I just didn't post them. And before you knew it, freaking 6 weeks passed. Now I'm back. Now I'm going to be in Toronto for the next foreseeable future. And we're going to be back to making content. And this is exactly what we needed. When you get back to making some content, you want some good results. That always helps. And here we are. What a goal. Exactly. What a goal. Bit lucky for that to go in, but better to be lucky than good. Yeah, I mean, I would say it would be lucky if, it hit the goalpost, hit the goalkeeper's back, and then kind of dove in. But the way that it struck the inside of the goalpost, to me is definitely lucky, no question. But it's a decent strike too, especially from the distance. Parts of Thailand. Interesting. I live in Chiang Mai. No way, you do? Man, I was thinking of coming to Chiang Mai this time, but I ended up going to Bangkok. I went to Phuket. I was going to go to Pattaya, but I didn't. It was all right. It was decent. It was a lot of fun. I went with my brother-in-law. That was a fun part. It was like hanging out with your family and stuff, but it's a little aggressive in Phuket, if you guys know what I mean. If you guys haven't been to Thailand, if you haven't been to Phuket, you might not know what I mean, but it's a bit much. It's a lot to handle, especially if you're going to Bangla Road and those places. Patong Beach, man, it's like, all right, can we all calm down a little bit? Hold on, I'm going to get to your comment. Bologna is taking a free kick here. This is a dangerous free kick to end the first half. Is Mike Maignan going to be... Yeah, the wall does their job. That's exactly what Milan needed. Good work. Musabaro with that shot. Nothing really happened with that. I more just mean lucky in that... Oh, you're referring to the lucky comment. That it's Pobega scoring a goal from distance off the post, then nothing. Not a reliable source of producing goals. Yeah, probably not. I mean, Pobega is not really the player that we rely on to be able to score goals. But he has scored a few goals this season for Milan. But yeah, at the end of the day, you want your strikers. You want Origi. You want De Ketelaere. You want Ante Rebic. You want those guys to be on the score sheet. You cannot rely on Pobega to win you matches. You have to rely on those guys to win you matches. But we're only 43 minutes in. It's 1-1. Essentially, it's a 0-0. Milan have canceled out that 30-second goal from Bologna, and we're really back into this. Now, let's see what happens for the next maybe 20 minutes. I think around the 65th minute mark, Milan might reflect back on what's happening. And like who really is going to be subbed on to try and see what kind of result Milan wants. Because let's be real, a 2-1, like let's say Milan takes a lead, right? And we go up 2-1. That's tough. 2-1 is still a tough one to hold on to for a significant period of time. Yeah, a lot of tourists now. Man, bro, Phuket right now, Thailand right now, not that I have a problem with that. It's like mini Russia. Straight up, it's like mini Russia right now. For everything that's going on with Russia, I think there are a few countries that are allowing a lot of their tourists to come in comfortably with the visas and all that stuff. I don't know what the geopolitical rules and stuff are, but I think Thailand might be one of the places that Russians can go to. My friend, I saw more Russians than I even saw Thai people in Thailand right now, or in Phuket actually, not in Bangkok. I can't remember, but in Phuket it was all that. So yeah, lots of tours, which is fun, but it's just a little bit overwhelming at times. First half comes to an end. That is a 1-1. Bologna 1, Milan 1. Bologna started off the first half with a 30-second goal. Milan ends the first half with an equalizer from Pobega, a ridiculous strike from outside the box, helped by the goal post. Goes in. Thiago Motta, not going to be very happy with this, but let's go. Exactly, let's go. If it's Pobega scoring a goal, sorry. What is happening here? If it's Pobega scoring a goal off of excellent build-up counter like Benacer did in Champions League, that's different, but it wasn't like that. Yes, it was mostly like a, as you said it, actually, maybe I agree with you a little bit now. It was more like a lucky strike, right? You take your chances. You take a shot from outside the box. If it goes in, it goes in. It looks like Olivier Giroud right now just stopped Pobega. He just called out to Pobega when they were exiting the field. He yells at Pobega to come back, gives him a nice little high five, and walks away. But yeah, it's not reliable for sure, per se. I'm sick of CDK and Origi. I've tried to be patient with CDK and can't anymore. I know, my friend. You've expressed that. I've heard that. I know you're not very happy. Oh my God, you're back. Yes, I'm back. So glad to see you again. So glad to see you again. I always remember. Is that a bear in your profile picture? Because I always feel like I've that's how I remember you, right? Oh, hi, Mats, is with the bear. So yeah, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. It's nice to be back to making content again after a travel session of about 7 weeks. No complaints from my end. Now, really, if we kind of look at what happened here, I'm gonna try and pull this up. Let's see what I can get for you guys. Get going for you guys. Because really, this is what I want to talk about. Let me see if I can switch the screen to that. I need a producer. Anyone want to produce this stuff for me? Help me out. Let's see. Boom. There we go. Okay. So this is kind of what I wanted to go through. And let's take a look at this. So if we look at the kind of performance that this team has put in up until now, I mean, let's be totally real about it. First of all, beginning from how the fans are feeling about the kind of changes that Padre Pioli had made, there was a lot of doubts about what Milan's going to do today. Rightfully so, there were doubts about what Milan's going to do today because of the number of changes that were made. Mike Maignan is the only player that played in the last match against Napoli in the Champions League quarterfinal that is also playing again today. Put in a stellar performance against Napoli. The reason why Milan is still holding on to that clean sheet, still holding on to that slim 1-0 lead is because of Mike. Started off with him again. For whatever reason, he's been given a 5.8 rating. I think it's a little too low because I really don't think it was the goalkeeper's fault that goal happened. First of all, Fode Ballo-Touré gave up the possession on the left flank, and then Kalulu and Chow just didn't mark their man well enough, and Sansone just capitalized on it, and Mike couldn't really have done much from that much distance. So I think the rating that Mike has been given in this, it's a little too low for me, but immaterial of that, Milan is back 1-1. They have canceled out that goal, so that's the good news. Now, the two players that I do want to actually appreciate here are the players that have been rated a certain way. If you look at the rating that this website has given Florenzi has been pretty decent. He's made some decent crosses, forced Skorupski into that save from that free kick. He's been the player that has been taking all the responsibility that Sandro Tonali is usually given, Olivier Giroud is given from free kicks and corner kicks. And considering the fact that he's an older player, I think Florenzi has been a pretty decent player today. And you have to give it up to him. Kalulu and Malik Tau have actually been fairly absent in terms of the fact that, not that they haven't been performing well per se, they just haven't really been needed. Outside of the first 40 seconds when Milan conceded that goal and both of these players didn't mark their man properly, outside of that, they haven't really been tested anyways. So it doesn't really even matter what kind of rating that they've been given. Fode Ballo-Touré is a player that I was very concerned about because of the expectation that Milan has. You know, our left flank is our golden jewel, really. It's Theo Hernandez with Rafael Leao up front with Olivier Giroud. This is our line that really a lot of our attacks come from. And when you replace Theo Hernandez and you put someone like Fode Ballo-Touré on, the expectation is that you're going to drastically drop in terms of her quality. And we did for the first 25 minutes. But I think Fode Ballo-Touré has been okay after that. I think in the first half, that's a pretty fair rating. And if you look at the entire team outside of Pobega, Ballo-Touré has the highest rating, and I'm actually not mad at that. I think he's been pretty okay. Now, Milan did revert back to a 4-2-3-1 with this in this formation. They played Vronks and Pobega together. Vronks has been relatively okay, dribbled the ball past a few players a couple times, but his vision is just not what Ismail Benacer's vision is. His movement is just not what Ismail Benacer's movement is. So he just doesn't, just like Ballo-Touré replacing Theo, Vronks cannot really replace Benacer. He's just going to play his own way. And he's been relatively okay, but fairly absent from the game, I would say. Pobega, who also probably would be in the same category as Vronks, took his chance. Took a shot from outside the box, saw a little bit of space. His players were surrounding him, so his players were able to get out of his way. There were no defenders running up to him to stop him. He saw that opportunity, launches a strike from outside the box, gets lucky by hitting the goalpost, and gets a goal for Milan, gets the equalizer. You know, I guess you got to play the lottery to be able to win it. And he played the lottery. He took his chance. He took a shot, and it actually went in. So definitely something that Milan's going to be happy about, but not the most thrilled about, because really what you need is what I'm going to get to next. And what you need is your front four guys to be attacking. When you have a formation of 4-2-3-1, you need the most out of your front four guys when it comes to getting on the score sheet. And if it's your double pivot midfielders that are actually getting you on the score sheet and the front four guys are doing almost nothing, that's not going to be very good. For me, looking at these ratings, Alexis 6.9, Rebic 6.4, and De Ketelaere 6, I think it should be flipped between Alexis and Rebic. I think Rebic has been a little bit more influential and a lot more important player for Milan in this compared to Alexis. I think Alexis is still our starter mostly, and the fact that he hasn't been what he can be, not about the fact that, you know, he needs to, he's the best player or anything. I'm just saying, like, he's the player who gets the most play time probably of this entire 11 outside of Kalulu, right? And obviously Maignan, but we're not talking about the goalkeeper. So Alexis is probably the one who gets the most play time, so he should probably be the one who should be most dominant in today's game in attacks. For me, he just hasn't been that. Ante Rebic has been significantly better. Next player, I mean, is to talk about is De Ketelaere, and I don't know. It's just it's borderline depressing now to talk about that guy. No hard feelings. I'm not mad at him. I'm just saying that he just doesn't seem to be getting what he needs to get out of this team and these results. And once again today, outside of Mike Maignan, who I think has unfairly been given a 5.8, De Ketelaere is the lowest rated player in the outfield. And I don't know what to say about it anymore. You guys can help me out in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about it, but I really don't know what to say. And up front with Divock Origi, again, I think a player that probably has been given a little bit of a high rating in my opinion. I don't think he's been a 6.6 as it shows there. I don't know. These are tough sells for me right now, guys. I don't know what I can... I just don't know what to say about these players and their performance, especially when it comes to Origi and De Ketelaere. I am curious to see what you guys have to say about this. So let's get into some comments here. Wow. There's a lot of comments to catch up on. Pobega does that. He takes chances. Exactly. He needed to take that chance. He took it, and here we are. Long time, Kush. Yes, Iron Cut. Yes, my friend. 7 weeks of traveling. Now I'm back. That is a bear saying hi, old inside joke among friends. All right. Well, hi to the bear. We didn't play bad, actually. Yes, I agree. We did not. Yeah, we didn't really play bad. And to be fair, Bologna didn't really play that good after their first goal, after their 40th second goal. They haven't really been a team that has shown like they're too dominant or, being able to string multiple passes together, get a lot of attacks launched. Not really. Where have you been, Kush? I have been everywhere. Not everywhere. I've been mostly traveling throughout Asia, parts of Asia actually. And now I'm back in Toronto. We are now in finals soon of Champions League. Yes, I've been watching. I watched some of the games. I didn't watch Milan's match against Napoli because the time zone that I've been in, it's like the games are on at 2:30 at night, and it's really hard to go out with your friends, partying and stuff, and then come home at 2:45, start making a stream. It's very tough. So I needed to come back quick so that I can get back to this. And I'm happy I'm back. Those are strange stats. Origi was garbage. CDK looks out of place. Same for Salamakers. Balo was, in my opinion, weak. I agree with all of the comments here. Oh, hi, Mats. I don't agree with the Balo one. I think Balo's been pretty decent, actually. Also, Maignan is doing what he can and participating in the build-up. Exactly. Maignan has been given a ridiculous standing. We win Champions League, so we are instantly qualified for next year. Saul Goodman, my friend. That is a lot of optimism for Saul. Actually, that makes sense. Saul is a pretty optimistic person, but I mean, there would be nothing that makes me happier than winning the Champions League. Let's be real about that. Last season, I wasn't very optimistic about Milan winning the Serie A title, and somehow we pulled it off. This time around, maybe it should be a thing that I do where I'm not very optimistic about Milan winning the Champions League, and somehow we managed to pull that off as well. It's going to be a very, very tough ask. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have a slim 1-0 lead against Napoli. 1-0 is not a lot. Especially considering the fact that we could have scored a second and a third goal after Anguissa's red card. We didn't capitalize on it. Let's just get beyond Napoli first. I wasn't planning on going live today. I just wanted to take a break. I just landed 2 days back in Toronto. So I really didn't want to go live, but I knew that the next match is going to be against Napoli. So I just wanted to say hi to you guys again before I go back to making my reviews and all that stuff. I'm bringing back the old studio too, by the way. The old studio is right there. I'm bringing that back for the Milan matches for sure. We easily beat Napoli and then Inter. We will smack them. Then finals. Kush, it's happening. What did I tell you? We're always ahead of time. We will win the Champions League this season. My friend, I love your optimism. I really, really do. I don't know how much I agree with your optimism, but I definitely love it, and I would love for you to be right. That's for sure. I have no qualms about being wrong. Actually, I don't disagree. I just really hope that that's what happens. Virag Doshi. Hey, Kush, what's up? After a long time. Yes, I know, man. It's been a while. Casual Combat. How is this luck? His shot from there is his party piece. He has scored goals like this consistently. If anything, hitting the bar was unlucky. As the other person I forgot their name. We were talking about it was when we say luck, it is a lucky strike in some way, but the fact that it hit the goalpost and it went inside, because it could have hit the goalpost, popped back out. So there was a little bit of a factor of luck involved there. You're right. This is not the first time that Pobega scored a goal like that. He's actually done that multiple times for Torino, and he's done it for Milan as well. I think the larger point in that, and what we're talking about, was that we need Milan winning through a Pobega strike from outside the box like that, hitting the goalpost, is a little bit of a lucky win for Milan, or lucky result for Milan, because you actually need your top four to be getting your results. You need Rebic, De Ketelaere, Alexis, Origi to be performing and dominating Bologna, not getting some type of a solitary goal from Pobega and then moving on. It's a larger point. The micro point is that, yes, it wasn't just luck. He made the right strike and he got us the goal. But we need more from the rest of the attackers. I honestly want us to put Rebic up front and bring in Leao. If Balo drops quality, he switches with Theo at the hour mark. I think 60 to 65 minutes, we're going to make the changes depending on where the scoreline is. Because if this Milan can be 1-1 against Bologna, this Milan, 11 replacements, can be 1-1 against Bologna, imagine if you throw in Benacer in there, throw Leao in there, throw Theo in there, throw Giroud in there. Suddenly your quality is going to really go up. You throw Brahim Diaz in there. Your quality is going to drastically change, and you might be able to get that second goal. So I think around the 65th minute mark, we're probably going to see something like that. Hi, Kush. What's up, man? Long time. No videos. Where have you been, bro? As already mentioned, was traveling around. I'm back now. You'll see a lot more videos coming in for sure. I can promise you, because that's really what I do when I'm in Toronto. I love making videos. No need Leao. Let the B team, let the team, A team chill and prepare for Champions League. Hey, let's just hope that's the case. I don't want a 1-1. I don't want to draw. I need Milan to win. We need to solidify our position in the top 4. And as that comment from this person said, I think I'd focus on this. AC Milan is really risking it all. Incredible lineup in the middle of a top 4 fight. And I just saw somebody commented saying idiots, which is nice. But this is an important point, is that we are risking a lot by, just sitting there and allowing teams to come at us that way with our B squad, but also kind of understand why we're doing it. Still a risk, an absolute risk. Now that you guys are here, I can see there's about 30, 40 of you guys here. I just want to make a request. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It'll really help if you guys can just click the like button down there. It just helps the stream, pushes it out to more people, and obviously it helps the channel. So if you haven't already liked this stream, please make sure to do so. It'll be nice if I can, maybe cross that 20 like mark at this point in time. I'm going to ask for those things more. I made that decision last time. Can't believe we passed up on so many players for CDK. Man, this comment feels like a very long discussion, so I might stay away from it. I mean, who did we pass up on though, right? Like, we had Renato Sanchez, we had Botman that we were fighting for. There was Noah Lang that we were being rumored with. Enzo Fernandez was probably the biggest miss for Milan, because at that point in time, I think when Renato Sanchez decided that he's going to go to PSG, Milan had made pursuits for Enzo Fernandez. I think there was a deal that was being worked out around that 12-15 million mark, which would have been redonkulous. So yeah, I mean, maybe we did pass up on some players for CDK, but I guess we still have to give him time. We gave Leao the time. We gave Tonali the time. We probably have to give CDK the time. But Leao and Tonali both showed a lot more promise than CDK has shown. That's for sure. Let the B team play. A smile. Adli should be number 10 and CDK goes false 9. Adli should be number 10 and CDK goes... Wow, that would be not a crazy bad move, but that would be a ballsy move from Pioli. I don't think Adli is going to play any matches for Milan again. I really don't. The squad's coming back out now, but I don't think Adli's going to play for Milan again. And depending on the results, that would be a very tough thing to see happen. We should not buy a player in Belgium for 10 years. Carlisle's pissed about how the Jupiler League, is that they call their league, Jupiler League, has kind of screwed Milan over here. But no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, probably just have to improve our scouting and... I don't know, just wait and see. I don't even know what to say about the CDK situation, because I've complimented this Milan management so much that I'll have to heavily criticize them for spending 40 million almost on this player, or 35 million on this player, and this is the kind of result we're getting. And I mean, I guess you do have to criticize them at the end of the day. Give Adli a chance. Mismatch. I don't think it's going to happen, my friend. Alzaki Ahmed, we're playing well for our B-side team. I agree. 1-1 against this Bologna. Imagine making 4 or 5 changes, bringing your star players, Leao, Theo Hernandez, Giroud. Before you know it, you can get a second goal for sure. Glad to see you back, Kush. Miss your content. Brian, my friend, longtime friend. Yes, I'm happy to be back, and I am absolutely back now. I'm back in Toronto, so it's going to be a lot easier to make content. I just checked out teams in top 4, and all of them have difficult opponents to play, including Milan. Exactly. At the same time, it's still a bit of a risk that Pioli is taking by resting entirety of his squad, but let's see what happens. I mean, this is exactly why you need a result today, right? You cannot drop 2 points today and go with a draw, because you have tough games coming up. You need 3 points against a team like Bologna. 8th place Bologna, fair enough, but still you do. Free video topic at some point next season. How beneficial could downsizing to 18 be? Hey, I already made a video about this, my friend. If you watch my video that I've made about the downfall of Serie A and the rise of Serie A, this was one of my core points. So if you haven't already checked it out, it should be on the main video on my main page. That was what it was about. I'll feel sorry for Zlatan if we win the Champions League. Mismatch. Oh my God, imagine. Oh, that would suck. I mean, that's a huge thing to say anyways, that we win the Champions League. But yeah, that would really suck, because we didn't actually put him in the squad. Milan coming in on attack early. It would also help with fixture congestion in addition to potential. Yeah, I am all for 18 teams Serie A, by the way. Let me just, before I even read your comment, I'm all for it. I think it's actually important that Milan does it. Liga is already doing it. Serie A cannot constantly be the league that is getting left behind. Ligue 1 has decided to drop from 20 teams to 18 teams for a reason. It improves your quality. You get less matches, but you get more consequential matches, and that's what Serie A needs to do too. But guys, let's not forget who we're talking about. We're talking about Serie A here. We're talking about, quite honestly, a few dinosaurs running the league. And that's never going to have the most proactive and most refreshing and fresh ideas. They're going to go with, hey, more matches means more money. So let's just keep that. But yeah, watch my video. I specifically talked about 18-team Serie A. VAR has been very bad against us. We're not getting any penalties. I don't think that was a penalty, though. I saw the replay. Maybe there's something there, but I just didn't feel like it was. Pobega. I just saw Milan to start games with 100% intensity. We keep making mistakes in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty much what happened against Napoli, too. They dominated us for the first 30 minutes, and that caused a lot of problems. There's a few comments that I'm catching up to. Second half has kicked off. At this point in time, I would like to go to the bathroom as well. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you guys making this video cross 20 likes when I requested so. Let me put in a question here. Who would you substitute in? Who are the substitutions that we could possibly put in? All right, there we go. So I wanted to ask you guys this question. You guys can answer this question. And there we go. Here's what's going to happen, guys. For the next 20 seconds, I'm going to quickly run to the bathroom. I didn't go during the during halftime. You guys take a look at that poll. Give me your answers. We're 48 minutes in. It's still 1-1. I'll be back. 20 seconds. Just give me some time. I just heard the commentator talking about Sinisa Mihajlovic. Oh yeah, the video that I made about Serie A dropping down to 18 teams. That video was actually dedicated to Sinisa Mihajlovic. I absolutely love that guy. That was a dangerous attack from Bologna, but really nothing comes out of it. A terrible pass at the end. Bologna is really not doing much. Milan can easily capitalize by simply... just taking a couple minutes to see what you guys are commenting here, but I'm gonna go through some more of your comments here. In my opinion, we're still too harsh on CDK. He controls the ball well and shows quality here and there. It's all about fitting in, understanding the tactics, communicating with teammates. I think at this point in time, to be honest, our criticism of CDK is not unfair. You need tangible outcomes at a certain point in time. When your team is struggling and you're not solidifying top four, you're out of the Serie A race, you're trying to pull something off in the Champions League, you need to give your coach and your teammates that extra option of results. And that's something that CDK is not offering to Milan, considering the fact that 30 million plus were paid for him. That was a tough negotiation as well, because his team, his entourage, they held on to the prices that they wanted. Now, this might be a decent attack from Milan. If Fode Ballo-Touré can do something about it, he couldn't really I'll come back to CDK. That's a good touch from for the Balotelli. He's going to cross the ball. He does cross the ball in. It's a little bit of a heavy cross that goes out. Wow, my friend, come on. Come on, Balotelli. That has to be a better cross. That was such a good positioning for us. But yeah, going back to CDK, 30 games into the season, you have to give your teammates more options. You have to give your coach more of a more depth. So if he gets criticized at this point in time, I just don't think passing the ball is enough anymore. You know, remember how annoyed we used to get with Rafael Leao when he used to just dribble, and at least he was scoring 6-7 goals, and we're still getting mad at him because he used to dribble the ball too much. And same thing with Brahim Diaz. I don't care if CDK is dribbling the ball and if he's passing well. As a trequartista, as a false 9, as a potential number 9, you need goals. You need assists. Again, 30 games into the season, you need results. You can't just bank on a player's effort. Ante Rebic from the left flank. Ante Rebic with a decent ball in. Is that going to go to Alexis Salamakers? It doesn't. But it might fall to Florenzi. It doesn't. Bologna still stay in attack. Vronks gets on that ball. Alexis Salamakers heads it back to who? To Vronks. Vronks to Chow. Chow goes out to Florenzi. Florenzi's going to cross the ball in. He doesn't. He gets defended completely out of the ball. And Bologna are back in attack. But yeah, I mean, I understand. We do have to be patient with CDK. There's no question about that. I will still be patient with him. CDK on the ball right now. CDK. Can he win us a penalty? No, he doesn't. Alexis with the cross in. Oh, Pobega tried to go for a second goal from outside the box, my friend. That was a terrible positioning from Pobega to take a shot from, but he's feeling good, so he did take that chance. But yeah, I agree with you in the sense that no need to sell him, no need to loan him out, give him some more time, give him Tonali layout type of time, but criticism of him is not unfair in my opinion. Dybala. He was waiting for us. Oh, Dybala, right, I see what you mean. You're referring to your comment about how we gave up on other players instead of going for CDK, and Dybala was one of the players who wanted to potentially join Milan. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's played pretty well there. Did he get injured, though, now? That was always the risk with Dybala, right? Was his injury issues. Interestingly, when Ronaldo joined us, he was not part of the UCL squad in 2007, but we won, which is true. Zlatan wouldn't be the first world-beating player to miss out on the Champions League at Milan despite being here. Hey, look, I feel bad for Ronaldo, and I'll feel bad for Ibrahimovic, but I really hope what you're saying actually happens. There's a discussion to be had about the strategy. We're about 53 minutes in. It's still 1-1. I need to eat something. Oh, man. Damn it, I need some napkins. Alexis Salamakers. Ante. Alexis. Man, if he just passed that ball out to CDK, that probably would have been a goal. If he had just passed that ball to CDK. All Ante needed to do was do a nice little layoff for CDK. It was completely unmarked, and he was on his favorite left foot. I think CDK is left-footed, if I remember right. Milan lose possession. Bologna coming in attack. Florenzi gets a foul, and he gets a yellow card as well. There's a discussion to be had about Milan, about the strategy of spending large sums of money on single players when you have the budget Milan has. Redbird did a better job distributing their budget with Toulouse. See, what you have to keep in mind is that the management sees a lot of people want the management to spend like 250 million in a single mercato. And I think what this Milan management is looking at is, wow, we're bringing Calabria and Messias on. So Pioli really doesn't want to play his star players. Because if two substitutions are being made, it's Messias and Calabria of all players. Interesting. Basically shuffling up the right flank. The reality is that Milan doesn't have 250 million euro budgets. So what their plan is, you make some money by winning the Serie A, by getting back into the Champions League, and you reinvest it with small profiles, which we did. And now those small profiles have been accumulated over the past 3 seasons, and they've turned into star players through Theo, through Leao, Tonali, Benacer. These were small players that we'd signed for less than 20 million, and they've all reached that almost 50 million mark in terms of their value. Now you can make one expensive signing in a mercato, but not 5 50 million euro signings. So I don't think it's that. I think at some point in time, the management does have to make those big splurges. And this time around, the profile that they picked to make that big splurge, Divock Origi from the right flank. Is he going to pass the ball in? The big profile that they picked was CDK, and it basically just hasn't worked over the first 30 games of the season. Alexis tried to dribble the ball like he did against Napoli. Divock Origi with a decent ball. That's a good ball from Divock for Fode Ballo-Touré. That was a good ball. He just couldn't really do much with it. Tight angle for him to be able to get a goal from that, but that was a good cross from Divock. I love our B team. Needs playing time, so Serie A is perfect. Let the A team play Champions League. Oh man, you really, really want Milan to win that Champions League, and you really believe in it. I can tell. Florenzi comes off. Davide Calabria comes on. Looks like Messias is also going to come on there. Let me end this poll here. Let's see what you guys had to say. I forgot about the Serie A video. It feels like it was long. Yeah, it's been 2 months, man. Move CDK to striker Adli. I've heard about this Adli thing. I don't think Adli is going to be playing for Milan anytime soon. Milan's biggest transfer success this season arguably has been Malik Thiaw. And they didn't even spend that much money on him. Imagine if they let the scouting team focus on more of those underrated players, which they have. Keep in mind, Rangers King 669. AC Milan is a product of small players being purchased. Underrated young guys being purchased. What do you think Theo Hernandez was, right? He was not a very expensive buy. Milan bought Ismail Benacer from Empoli for 15 million. Really, the only high-profile signings that Milan made was Ibrahimovic, Sandro Tonali, because everybody wanted him. But Rafael Leao was a 20 million euro signing. Theo Hernandez was less than 30. Benacer was less than 20. Who else is there? Kalulu was 450,000 euros. And Fikayo Tomori, sorry. Ibrahimovic, Tomori, those are the big profiles that Milan signed. Everybody else has been a small profile. Alexis Salamakers, Junior Messias, Olivier Giroud. These were not profiles that Milan spent a lot of money for. They spent less. And they still managed to win a Serie A title. So really, it all worked at the end of it all. Fair enough. And I also think CDK should switch to B2B role. Business to business? Alexis has really improved. Yeah. I was waiting for Alexis to make that jump that Leao made, but that seems unlikely now. I think Alexis and Leao are just different players. By the way, what do you think of our budget in Mercato if we finish top 4 and semis? Probably add another 30 to 40 from last Mercato. I think last Mercato Milan had 50 million-ish kind of budget. Yeah, about there. I mean, CDK was 30 in himself. So Milan probably spent somewhere around that 50 to 60 million mark in the summer market. So I would say this time around, maybe 80 to 90. 80 maybe? Or quite honestly, if we don't need a lot of reinforcements, which in my opinion we still do, maybe the same as last Mercato. Truly, it might just be the same as last Mercato. But if I had to put a number for you guys, I would say 80 million would be Milan's transfer budget this time around. Because we really need a right-wing striker, make Diaz permanent, and also a midfielder and a backup for Theo. We definitely need to spend on the right wing. I'm pretty sure Zaniolo is going to be coming to Milan. That's just my take on things. Milan had a good period of negotiation with Roma, with Zaniolo's entourage. Not with Roma, but with Zaniolo's entourage about his future. He wanted to come to Milan. Things obviously didn't work out. I think his relationship with Mourinho was pretty much fractured. And so he had to make a move somewhere. So I think he made a temporary move to Galatasaray. I don't think he's going to stay there. He's a very young Italian player to be staying in the Turkish league, with all due respect to the Turkish league. And I think there were some reports, as I've already talked about in the past, there were some reports that Maldini spoke with Zaniolo, thanked him and his entourage for their reasonable negotiation. And they said it's not goodbye. It's only a matter of time before we come back for you. So I think in this summer market, you can probably see Milan signing dangerous ball from Bologna. You can probably see Milan signing Nicolo Zaniolo from Galatasaray. I think he's at Galatasaray. So yeah, the right winger is handled. We definitely need a striker because Divock has just not performed the way we need him to, and we cannot keep relying on Olivier Giroud and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, so we definitely need a young striker for sure. Bologna with a little bit of string of possession that is dangerous. They're still on the attack, holding on to possession. We're 60 minutes in. Is Milan going to make a change now? I'm going to go through that poll and see what you guys think, but what you guys said, but I think at this point in time, we do need around that 65th, 70th minute mark. I think Milan is going to make some changes, bring some of their important players on. Because Macias and Calabria coming in just are not going to offer you that X factor. That's only going to come in when you bring in Theo Hernandez and Leao and Giroud. Imagine if they roll some of that CDK money into retaining Leao. Bologna with a dangerous attack from outside the box. That's good work from, I think, Alexis. Good on defense there. Davide's trying to get to that ball. He doesn't manage to get to it. Sorry, Macias is trying to get to that ball. Bologna is committing a lot of players up front. They're really going for the attack. They're really going for the second goal here. There we go, Fode. Hold on to the ball. Why would you make a cross like that, Fode? Okay, Divock finds the ball. Falls to him. Ante Rebic from the left flank. Is he going to make a run now? He does. Starts running. Passes the ball out to Divock Origi, but intercepted right away. Wasted ball from Ante Rebic. Is he going to win the ball back, though? No. Gives up a foul. Yeah, using that CDK money into retaining Leao. I think Milan's going to find an agreement with Leao anyways. I think when I was in Thailand, I was reading all the reports that it's about to happen now anyways. So I'm really hoping that there's some meat to those bones of rumors. Box to box. Oh, right. B2B for him. Clearly, they thought he was worth it, but so far it's been a massive risk with little return. I think you're talking about Divock Origi. Can he get something out of that? No, I guess what I'm saying is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The CDK signing went away from the formula that worked at Milan. Yeah, but now we're seeing it both ways, right? Initially, fans are complaining about the fact that Milan doesn't spend. We need to spend more. Why aren't we spending? When the team does spend, then we say, hey, why are we just not going back to the same system that we had? I think at some point in time, in order to really take the next step, in order to build a team out of the banter era, out of finishing in 7th, 8th place, you just need good scouting, good quality players with a limited budget, and we did that. We managed to pull it off, somehow translated into winning a Serie A title, which I never thought was possible. Legitimately never thought was possible. It wasn't even fighting for that. I was hoping for top 4. So you can use that formula to be able to get back into the top 4, which we did, and it actually paid off extra by winning the Scudetto. But when you want to make that leap from that level to actually competing against the top teams in Europe, you do have to increase your transfer budget. You do have to make those big purchases. That is what they thought CDK was going to be. Now imagine CDK... What was that? From Malik Chow. Jeez. Or from Vronx. What kind of corner kick was that he just conceded? So pointless. Imagine CDK performing at Milan the way he performed at Club Brugge last season and just half his numbers. I think he had 14 assists and 20 goals, or other way around, 20 goals and 14 assists. Half those numbers, 10 goals and 7 assists. He was a worth it signing then. He just hasn't translated into what we thought he was going to be. So I think we're looking at hindsight 2020 kind of way by saying, hey, why don't we just stick to our old formula? Mike Maignan gets the ball, plucks that out of thin air. We're about 65 minutes in, and it's sitting 1-1, and we expected at about the 65th minute mark, Milan might make some changes, but I think at this point in time, we might wait till the 75th minute, to be honest. Oh my God, what kind of ball is that from Kalulu? Jeez. Come on, guys. I heard if we get to the semis and get top 4, we get out of debt. Is that true? Well, Milan has really been able to fix a lot of their finances, and I don't think debt is necessarily the issue for Milan. I'm not even sure if Milan is considered to be in debt anymore. I'm actually not sure. I'll have to look at some of those Sempre Milan articles where they talk, oh, that's a good counter. Pobega got the ball. Pass it out to someone. Alexis goes out to Davide Cala. Vronx. Oh, it's Macias. Sorry, Macias from outside the box. Macias goes out to Vronx. Vronx with a shot from outside the box, and he freaking slipped. Why are you taking a shot like that, my friend? You don't have to be Pobega number 2. Use a teammate. That was good hustle from Pobega. He wins the ball. launched a counter for Milan. CDK got on that ball and come on, we just didn't capitalize on it. But I'm feeling good about this result, to be honest, guys. I'm waiting for the guys to come on. There we go. Just as we say it, Rafael Leao's on screen. This is what we need. We need our star players to come on and try and do something here. We will redeem Ibrahim. You're talking about Brahim. Are you talking about Ibrahimovic or Brahim Diaz? Hold on. From the right flank, Divock Origi passes the ball out. Nice ball to CDK. CDK, can he launch this ball in? CDK. Bro, use a teammate. Pass, cross, something. He wins the corner kick, but that's wasteful. You're in such a good position. Use a teammate. It's going to improve your confidence if you do something with the ball. Brahim Diaz and Rafael Leao are coming on, so it's about to take off. Hey, where's my phone? I need to put some money on Milan. If only these goofballs on Bet365 allow me to actually put some money on. Maybe next match. Short ball. Oh, that could have been a goal for Divock Origi. That was a good play from Milan. Very tricky, very slippery. Bologna just couldn't handle that. And right now, Milan is looking pretty good. We will redeem Ibrahim for 25. I think it's a bargain again, because definitely at least retain that value for after a season. I think you're talking about Brahim Diaz, and I'm kind of okay with that. Daniel, sorry. I hope we win this game. Yes, my friend. I really hope so too. For the ball today from the left flank. Is he going to pass it out to Ante Rebic? No, he doesn't. Holds on to the ball. Good ball for Ante Rebic, actually. That's for CDK. CDK, take a shot, bro. Bro, take a shot. You're so scared. You got to be more clinical. Quick, faster. Come on, dude. He's so scared. Bato from the left flank. Bologna holding on to possession, but allow Milan enough time to get back into shape. Milan's back in defense. Now they win the possession. And let's be real, guys. I think we'll get the 3 points today. I really do think so. Seeing that Leao and Brahim Diaz are going to be coming back on now, giving the team about 20 minutes of time, maybe about almost 25 minutes, really. It's 67 minutes in. They're both ready to come on. With injury time, they're probably going to give Milan about half an hour. And in half an hour with these two players, I think Milan's going to be able to get this. So at this point in time, I'm really going to try and fill in these details that Bet365 is asking me for, because it's time to put some cash on this Milan team, because 3 points are coming. I believe it. Occupation status. Oh, nice work from Fode Balotelli. Gets the ball there. Self-employed. Occupation. Let's pull this in. What do I say my occupation is? YouTuber. Real estate broker. Industry. Real estate. I'm not ahead of these organizations. Confirm contact details. Done. All right, there we go. We're into the system now. And it is time to put money on Milan. All right, here we go. Soccer. Chelsea's winning right now. Good for them. Oh my goodness. Where's Serie A? Italy. Serie A. Putting money on Milan right now. Boom. There we go. Bet has been placed on Milan. Let's go. That's how much I believe that Milan's going to win, get the 3 points today. That's how much I believe. I literally put my money where my mouth is. Now, let me go back into your comments. You guys have been lively today. A lot of comments coming in. I appreciate you guys chatting with me. I really do, honestly. You guys make these streams so much easier to handle, because if you have company with you, if you have people with you watching, people with you talking, giving their takes, telling me I'm right, telling me I'm wrong, it always is fun. But we're about 70 minutes in. We're approaching the last 20 minutes of regulation time. Brahim Diaz with a nice flick on. Junior Macias. Brahim with the ball. Sorry. Basically, CDK's skills are most valuable further back. I think at this point in time, I might actually be done talking about CDK. Because CDK has now even been taken off. His pressing, passing, and creating are similar to what Ismail can provide. Yeah, but we need more attacking presence from him, right? That's my thing with him. As Daniel said, I hope we win this game. Daniel says, welcome back. I appreciate it. Sampriya says, hi. Hello, Sampriya. Virag says, if we can get 100 million and bring 3-4 players, it would be really good. Yeah, I think our budget is probably going to be closer to that, anywhere between 50 to 80 million, in my opinion. And if instead of 3 to 4 players, we can get 2 players, I think that might actually help a lot too. Why is Leao on the bench? Leao is on the bench because we have a Champions League quarterfinal second leg match coming up against Napoli on Tuesday, and Milan is up 1-0, aiming to make their first semi-final Champions League appearance in 16 years. That's why Leao's on the bench. And I'm not too mad at that. Lewis Ferguson is low-key class. Watch him at Aberdeen, and he's really good. Lewis Ferguson. Is he playing today? That's right. Leao just did come on. And here we go. Let's see what Milan can do here. Let me actually fix this. Sorry, I didn't realize that this is the screen I was talking to you guys with. I got to fix that because I don't like this one. There we go. So a corner kick here for Bologna. Obviously, Milan's going to have to mitigate this risk and then get back in attack. Get those 3 points. Make sure I don't lose my money. Goes up, pops up for Mike. Mike catches that. Good work. Once again, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Help the stream out. Junior Macias from the right flank. Oh, nice touch from Macias. Can he do something with it? Macias with the ball. Go! Oh, no! Ante! How is that not a goal? Oh, my God. How is that not a goal? How is that not a goal? What happened there? Macias, good ball. Oh, my goodness. It hit Ante's face, I think. Oh, wow. If that doesn't go in, that makes me frightened. Is luck not on our side today if something like that happens? Oh, man, that scares me. That scares me. Leao. Oh my goodness, Pobega almost had a second goal. Milan's creeping. Hey, I gotta turn off my fireplace. It's on for some reason. All right, corner for Milan. That's a good corner kick. Calabria. Oof. Davide's asking for a corner kick. He's not happy about that. He believes there was a deflection there. This game is getting a little bit scrappy, guys. Bologna attacking from the right flank. That's a good ball in, but that looks like that goes out for a goal kick for Milan. All right, let's go. 15 minutes to go. Let's double up, guys. Let's double up. Brahim Diaz on the ball. That's a good ball out for Rafael Leao. Something's going to happen here, guys. Rafael Leao from the left flank. Leao. Come on, Leao. Use a teammate. Nice work from Bronx. Didn't fall to a Milan player, though. Nice work from Pobega, but that's got to be a free kick. Yes, it is. I thought Leao would start so that Milan can get a goal or two and then sub him off. That's a tough one, man, because a lot of these teams hit Milan pretty hard in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and this is what happened here too. It's what happened with Napoli, and Milan look a little shaky, and in here they ended up conceding a goal. Then Leao just has to work extra hard, and the reality is that he already played on Wednesday. I think he played all 90 minutes on Wednesday, so you really don't want to start him again. You want him to rest as much as possible, and if he's needed, then you bring him on, and that's kind of what happened. He was needed, and he's now coming on. Because it's no guarantee that we're going to score 2-3 goals, right? Like, what if we don't? Which basically is what happened right now. Nice work from, who is that? Is that Macias? That was really good defense from Bronx, I think. We're resting players for Tuesday, exactly. Who came in for Uri? Leao. So they pushed Ante Rebic to the front. Oh, that was Kalulu. Sorry, good defense from Kalulu. Fantastic defensive work from Kalulu, actually. They pushed Ante Rebic as a center forward, and Leao comes in as a left flank. This is dangerous attack from Bologna. Milan cannot give them that much space, but Mike picks that up pretty comfortably. CDK's definition of useless. I mean, he has been fairly useless. Let's be real, but just have to give him time, I guess. That's what I have to keep saying. Rebic has to score that. Absolutely, he has to score that, man. Absolutely, he has to score that. Origi's just not good enough for Milan. What has he done except be an option on the bench? Yeah, pretty much. I'm more annoyed with Origi than I'm with CDK, because Origi I had a little bit more of an expectation from to respond and to perform right away. Simply because of his experience, played in the Premier League, won a Champions League title. I think he scored in the Champions League final. So that guy has ultimate quality and experience. Oh my God, this is bad. 3-on-3 counter from Bologna. 3-on-3, becoming a 4-on-3. Dangerous ball, but Kalulu easily takes that out. And defensively, Milan is looking perfectly comfortable. But attack-wise, we need to break them down. We're about 15 minutes in from the end of this match. And we need something. Once again, I want to thank you guys. Over 1,000 people came in to watch this stream. And I really appreciate it. You have no idea. Nice to be back to be making content, and I'm excited for what's about to come up. Davide Calabria. That's not a possible foul. Are you serious? I thought Davide Calabria easily got that one clean. Guys, we cannot get a 1-1. We cannot freaking get a 1-1. No way. No way. We can't afford that. Davide Calabria is going to miss the next match. So that's something. I'm actually taking a look at Serie A here. All right, let's see this. Switch screens. Bologna with the free kick. Didn't even beat the first man. That was comfortable for Milan. All right, let's see this. Right, so Davide. Oh my God. Why are we bringing Gabi on? We need attack. Pioli. Malik Chow comes on. Gabia comes on. Why? How about bring Teo on? It's only 10 minutes. Anyways. Pobega's really hustling. I appreciate Pobega's hustle for sure. No doubt. All right, so the match that he's going to be missing is against Lecce. So that's not that big a loss, I guess, for Milan. Is that a foul on Pobega? Wow. And a yellow card? Bro. I don't get this. Bologna fans are really happy about this. It's not good. Urigi's horrid. Yeah, he has been pretty horrid. Milan has good defense. Think it's going to be a draw. Don't say that, Ahmed. I put some money on Milan now, my friend. Let's not settle for a draw. We need 3 points. We need 3 points. More than my money. We need it for top 4. We got millions at stake. Oh my goodness, that's a horrific free kick there. I'm happy about that for sure. They're really not capitalizing on what they're getting here from Milan. They're getting free opportunities to score a goal and they're just not taking it. All right, let's go, boys. More than enough time to go. There's over 10 minutes to go for Milan, but we really need to put things together now. You cannot have wasted passes from Pobega and Vronks. You need Leao. You need Brahim involved. Vronks. Goes out to Gabia. Gabia. Baloture. Leao. Leao. Leao, come on, Pobega. What kind of pass is that, man? Waste. Messias. Calabria. Ball falls to Bologna. Bologna on attack. On attack still. We need a dramatic second goal from Milan. Bologna attacking from the right flank. Here we go. Leao. Leao passes it out to Junior Messias. Messias lays it off for Leao. Leao from the left flank. Leao. 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 Nice ball to Brahim Diaz. Diaz! That was good, though. That's what you need. Bologna committing men up front. Milan on the counter. Through the pacey guys in Leao. Diaz. Brahim. I just wish Leao would actually just take it, drive it all the way himself. He has the quality to do it. "85 minutes in. It sits 1-1. Milan desperate for something now. Here we go. 5 minutes to go, guys. Bologna from the right flank. Ball won there by Pobega. Gives it back to Bologna. Brahim putting a little bit more hustle, bro. We're into the final 5. Let's go, Vronks. There's so many 40. There's a 20. There's a 30. There's a 40. There's a 10. Yeah, let's go. That's clean. That's clean from Macias. Good work. Pass it out to Brahim. Just pass it out to someone. Vronx, pass it out. Pass it out. Good. Pobega. Let's go. Keep moving forward. Oh my God. That was such a tough ball from Pobega, but that actually fell perfectly for Leao. Leao keeps the ball in. Leao. Drive the ball in. Drive the ball in. Leao. Come on, Leao. Nice turn. Couldn't get the ball in. Use a teammate. Yes, Pobega. Pobega with the ball back to Baloture. Baloture. Don't slow it down. All right, now build. Leao. My God. Who is that? Gabia? Come on, guys. Brahim. Nice ball out to Davide. Something, Davide. That was blocked out from Davide, man. Come on, just cross the ball in, Davide. Vronx. Is it Vranks or Vronx? Gabia goes out to Kalulu. Kalulu pushes this out to Calabria. Bologna are sitting back in defense now. Brahim Diaz. Brahim. Decent cross in. Brahim. Vronx, don't take a shot from outside the box. Don't be stupid. Just pass the ball! Gabia with decent defense there. Someone got a yellow card. I think Vronx gets a yellow. On Gary Medel, actually. Watch Juventus finish above us somehow, man. Juventus is playing really well. If they don't have which they're probably going to still have their deduction of points. I heard they might actually win that appeal, get the 15 points back, but they might get a further 20-point deduction. So instead, their deduction will be 20 points instead of 15. But really, like, there's so many things that I'm hearing right now. I don't even know definitively what's going on. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League? Well, Chunky Jim and Pugman. I'm going to hope Milan, right? We're in it. That's a nice ball from Macias. But I just couldn't control that. He fell. He slipped. Milan didn't do anything to him. Ante, what the... What kind of pass is that, Ante? Yeah, exactly. He's running really hard now because he knows he messed up and he needs to win the ball back. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Brahim. Let's go. Brahim Diaz. Rafael Leao. Oh! There's an appeal for a handball. That's going to go to VR for sure. Milan believes that's a handball, but I don't think there is. I have my doubts. All right, let's see. There's probably going to be a VAR check for sure on that one. Milan making a lot of appeals. Milan believes there's a handball there. We haven't had a lot of penalty calls go for us. Nice work. Who was that? Macias? Nice defense, Macias. Nice hustle. Let's see if that's going to go for a VAR check on penalty. Is that a penalty or no? No, not given. No, nothing's been given. This is not looking good, guys. This is looking bad, actually. A 1-1 against Bologna is just not what we need right now. Brahim Diaz, nice turn. Brahim Diaz driving the ball forward. Rafael Leao. Oh my God! Someone take a fucking shot! Davide. Oh my God, Leao, why wouldn't you take a shot on target? Why would Leao pass from there? That's a penalty, bro. How's that not a penalty? How is that not a penalty? Oh, it's off his body. Okay. I think the new rule is that if it goes off his body onto his arm, then it's not a penalty. I think that's the new rule. So if that's the rule, then it's not a penalty. But if I'm wrong about that rule, then that's a freaking penalty for sure. But it bounced off his leg to his chest and then his arm. So I think that's not considered a penalty anymore. But Milan with the corner kick here. Ante Rebic with the strike. Wow, straight to Skorupski. Nice work, dummy. Oh, it looks like my friend here bet over 2.5. So you need 3 goals. I hope you're not coming here for just 1 goal. It better be 1 goal for Milan. We're 3 minutes into added time now. 3 minutes of added time only? Wow, lucky Milan. This is just... I don't even know what to say about this anymore. I really don't know what to say about this. I mean, we got 2 minutes left in this match. We need a miracle. Now, at this point in time, you need a miracle. I'm just a little bit surprised by Pioli's moves. Bringing on Gabbia instead of replacing Fode for Theo is just a little surprising to me. I think that would have been a move that would have made a lot more sense. But Brahim Diaz has been electric. Absolutely electric. Pobega. Pass the fucking ball, Pobega. Looking like you're sightseeing there on top of a mountain. Pass the ball to a teammate. Got a minute and a half left. We don't have time for you to sightsee. A minute and a half to go. Who's this? Kalulu. Driving the ball forward. Don't check back. Vronx. Don't lose the ball. Kalulu. Kalulu. Don't cross it, man. Not from there. Move it up. Move it up. There we go, Kalulu. He's going to cross it. He's not going to listen. Vronx is going to make a ridiculous cross. That's a decent ball from Balotelli, but didn't fall for Leao. Pobega with a nice hoik in. Can someone actually do something with this? That's Milan's ball. We got 45 seconds left in this game. Brahim Diaz, pass it. Exactly. Throw it. Brahim, hold on to the ball. Brahim, let's go, Brahim. Brahim. Brahim Diaz. Decent ball in. For someone. Leao. Ante. Rebic. Crosses it in. Oh my God. I've never seen Milan be in such odd positioning where all these balls are falling to Milan and they just can't. Oh my God, Mike. All right, that's a draw, guys. That's a freaking draw for Milan. Bologna with a final shot. Gabbia defends that comfortably. Milanisti. This is not acceptable for Milan. This is just not good. All right, what happens here now? So we basically sit on 52 points. We're at the risk of dropping out of top 4 once again if Inter wins. And if Juventus... I don't want to talk about Juventus's points being changed and whatnot, but... Let me just refresh this and see where we sit now. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. 8th draw for the season for Milan. We're going to climb up to, 53 points. Tied with Roma. I don't know how the heck Lazio suddenly became the only competitors for Napoli, but they are. I don't know what to say. These are the games where you got to pick up the 3 points, and these are the places where Milan is dropping points. God, I don't know right now what to say. My brain is just not operating the way that I'd want it to operate, so I can give you guys something good to talk about. I just can't do that right now. It's a race between Milan and Inter to see which one wants to give up the Champions League spot more than it is who wants to fight to actually take it. All right, we're about 2 hours into this now. I'll maybe chat for another 15 minutes, see what you guys think, see what you guys have to say about this whole equation here. Discuss it with you guys and then go into your comments, but I'm going to do a little monologue now. Just looking at this over here. At the risk of repeating a few things, guys, here's the thing what happened, right? A lot of people were critical about what the possible formation that Pioli is going to take. If I give my takeaway on how Pioli... Sorry, I'm getting an allergic reaction behind my ear. It's getting a little itchy, so I'm going crazy there. If I really have to say what I truly feel about what kind of unfolded here is that I can't blame Padre Pioli for making the switches that he did. I think he needed to make these changes. I don't think it made a lot of sense for Milan to play Leao, Theo Hernandez, Olivier Giroud, Brahim Diaz, Benasser. I think they did need to rest these players, especially considering the fact that they just played on Wednesday. These are not robots. These are real human beings. Cardiovascular systems can only handle that much. They already played on Wednesday. Wednesday was Thursday, Friday, and today's Saturday, right? So that's just a 2-day break that these players would have gotten after a really, really intense Champions League match. So you cannot blame Pioli for resting the players that he did. I think he did need to rest those players. Now, all of that and today's result and all the substitutions will all be worth it once we get the right result against Napoli on Tuesday. Once Milan can sneak in that right result and get into the semifinal of the Champions League, what Milan did against Bologna will be significantly less relevant. And that's kind of what you need. Now, it's all eyes on the next game where, okay, now you rested Leao, you let him play for only 20 minutes. You rested Brahim Diaz, he only played for about 20 minutes. Now, what do the players that were rested, like Giroud, Benasser, Theo Hernandez, Fikayo Tomori, what do these guys do now on Tuesday? That's what we're now going to wait for. But going through the lineup here, I think Mike Maignan seems like an unnecessarily low rating for Mike. He wasn't really tested. When he did get tested, it was almost impossible for him to make a save from that position. I mean, it was more of the defensive errors than anything. Fodebalo today with one of the highest ratings on this team. I mean, he walks away with an 8.1, which is a little bit surprising to me, even a better rating than Pobega. I don't think Fode was that good, but I think Fode was pretty good. I think I missed Theo Hernandez a lot less than I thought I actually would. But still, we didn't get the winner. We didn't get the 3 points, so it doesn't really matter if he gets an 8.1. Malik Chan, Pierre Kalulu were actually pretty decent, considering the fact that at this point in time, for whatever reason, Padre Pioli believes that his starting center backs, the ones that he's actually trusting in the Champions League, are Fikayo Tomori and Simon Kjaer. If our backups are Kalulu and Malik Chow, I'm not really going to be too mad at that. I really won't. I think in the next matchup against Napoli, there's a possibility, a slim possibility. I don't know if it is actually going to happen. There's a slim possibility that Milan might actually play Kalulu and Fikayo Tomori instead of Simon Kjaer and Fikayo Tomori, and mostly because Osimhen is going to be fit. And Osimhen is a pacey player, and you do not want Simon Kjaer to get caught because of his advanced age against a young Osimhen who is ridiculously fast and electric. So possibly Kalulu plays, but the performance that Kalulu and Malik Chow played today, outside of the first 40 seconds of the match where they clearly weren't tuned in, they're not bad. But again, it's a freaking 1-1. So we walk away with 1 point. And that's just not good enough. Florenzi, once again, was replaced by Davide Calabria around that hour mark. Florenzi was decent. Calabria was also okay. I think Florenzi was a little bit more available in attack. Davide was much more defensively present, but Florenzi was much more available in attack. Took that free kick, got Skorupski to force him into taking making that defensive stop. Took the corner kicks from Milan, the free kicks from Milan. Florenzi, to me, was actually pretty good. Almost like I'm almost tinkering at saying, I don't know if Florenzi is better than Calabria in some ways. Definitely his attacking presence is much more valuable than what Davide seems to offer nowadays. Davide's turned into a much more defensive right back compared to what he used to be when he was a little bit younger. He's still a pretty young guy, but a little bit younger. He's still whipping a lot more crosses than he seems to whip in now, and I think Florenzi was much more available attack-wise. Pobega and Vronx as our double pivot, I mean, what can you really say about that? Obviously, they needed to rest Tonali and Benasser. That's why these two guys got their opportunity. Pobega got that goal. Good for him. Vronx, they were okay. Outside of the goal that Pobega got, I think he was relatively okay. I think he made a couple of defensive interceptions that really helped out. but I don't think they were ever going to translate into a goal for Bologna anyways, because Bologna's attack was pretty toothless, and they were, outside of the first 40 seconds of scoring that goal, they really were pretty irrelevant. So sure, Pobega and Bronx were a little bit more defensively present, but I don't think anything was going to come out of their counterattacks anyways. The disappointing quartet is pretty much the front four. Bizarre rating for Alexis Salamakers with 6.9. Alexis, De Ketelaere, Origi, completely wasteful for me. Rebic was still relatively okay, but the other three guys, I mean, the less we say about De Ketelaere, actually, we've talked about De Ketelaere a lot in this stream, so I don't really want to dive into the whole thing about him. Very wasteful, absent, just not what we need. We need results. We need 3 points. When you are in the Champions League, when you're fighting for a semi-final spot, a top 4 spot, guys, the banter era was just 3 years ago. 4 years ago was banter era. 4 years later, we're looking at Milan making the semi-final of the Champions League. Think about it. Top 4 alongside Manchester City, Real Madrid, and AC Milan. These are the kind of numbers we're looking at after going through the banter era. When you are in that position, you need your 35 million euro attacking signing to be more helpful when he's helping out the star players rested out. Once again, he didn't really do anything. And I think the same problem I have with Origi is when you have a team that is in a position to make the semifinals, when you are in the Serie A and you need your starting players to be rested, you're supposed to step up and say, hey, you guys rested out. Don't worry about it. We got this. We'll get you the result that we need. Well, they didn't do that. And that's my frustration with this Milan team. That's my frustration with the backup players, is that we just don't have enough. We don't have enough depth to be able to really get the kind of results that we need in these types of matches. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through your sorry. I'm going to go through what you guys have to say. A lot of comments here I can see. So I'm going to go through these one at a time. Let's see how we feel about this. Top four getting difficult after every match day. Looking at this, how many matches are left? Okay, so there are 8 matches left in the season. All right. I'll be honest, I'm a little less worried, because what I'm going to go for here is, let's refresh this and see what's up first. So we're 30 games in, 53 points, tied with Roma. Roma have a game in hand, Inter have a game in hand. So really we can drop out of top 4 today if Inter gets the right result. Now Inter is playing Monza at home. I don't know what's going to happen with that. And Roma's playing with Udinese at home. So let's be real here. Milan might drop out of top 4 today. Possible. Very, very much possible. But with 8 games left in the season, I'm not going to be panicking about it, especially seeing the reason why we rested. We rested our entire starting 11 and we still got a 1-1 draw. That's the reality. Now, here's what's left, guys. Milan play Lecce. That's a favorable match for Milan. Milan plays Roma away from home. That's a tricky game. Then we play Cremonese. That's a favorable game. Then we play Lazio at home. That is not a favorable game. Lazio are number 2 in the league, but at least we're playing them at home. Milan then plays Spezia away from home. That's a winnable game. Then we play Sampdoria at home. Also a winnable game. Then you play Juventus and you have Verona. So really, Milan has 3 tricky matches. We have Juventus, we have Lazio, we have Roma. Those are the 3 trickiest matches that Milan has to play. So out of the 8 matches, we got 3 tricky games. Can 3 tricky matches and 5 favorable matches kick you out of top 4? No. If you can get the right results in 5 out of 8, you're very much likely to solidify top 4 position. Now, you might just sneak in and get top 4 and just finish 4th place, but you still have potential. So I cannot get to that place where I start panicking about the possibility that we might not make top 4, because I still don't think I think there's a higher likelihood that Milan finishes top 4 than the fact that we don't finish top 4. Oh yeah, I lost my money today. I just realized that I put money on Milan. It didn't work. That was pathetic. Yes, it's fair to be upset. Our attack is just toothless without Leao. Let's be real, man. Even with Leao, we didn't really look that good. I feel like our attack is now more toothless without Brahim Diaz at times. I think Brahim Diaz adds that X factor, adds that electricity to our attack. The way he spins, that spin against Napoli that resulted in that goal for Benacer, That's what Brahim Diaz tends to do a lot now. And if you give me CDK and you give me Brahim, I'm picking Brahim, no doubt. So pathetic towards the end. Yeah, we had the opportunity. Just like against Napoli, we had the chance. We went up a man. We had them down to 10 men. We had them down 1-0 in our home, and we couldn't capitalize on it. And the same thing happened today. After going 1-1 with your B squad, when you add your star players for the last 20, 30 minutes almost, you should get a second goal. You really should. If your B squad can get you to 1-1, your star players should get you a little bit more. And it is pathetic that we couldn't get that done. You know it's bad when Kush swears. Yeah, I don't swear that much. But when I do, I definitely feel it, right in my bones. Ma volete andare in semifinale. I don't know who's clowning, but that's okay. I don't want to see Origi play anymore. Origi's a tough watch for sure. That's for sure. Origi's a tough watch. CDK is a tough watch. Even Alexis. I mean, Alexis has also been pretty annoying. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, we just have to dish here now. I mean, we can't really say anything positive about today's results. So we really just have to sit here and complain. And if you guys are still complaining, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the like button. Like button hitting helps the stream go out to more people. So just click that button. Help me out. Get this over 40 likes. That would be pretty nice. Sorry, let me go back to Rangers King 669's comment. I mean, it's not acceptable. But what do you expect when you don't invest in squad depth and your big money signing goes bust and then you play a B team? That's basically it. When you have Origi and CDK were not bad signings. Origi was an experienced Premier League player who played for Liverpool, won the Champions League, scored in the Champions League final. So that was not a bad pickup for free. And CDK costed us 35 million. So again, not a bad pickup. It was a pickup for which you spent a lot of money. So really, those two players should be doing a lot more for you. Really, they should be. And they're probably the worst players on the field. Vronx looks like he's not at the level of Milan Pobega, although works very hard. He's not a replacement of Kessie. Yeah, you're probably right about both things. I think Vronx has a good upside to him, like Malik Tau. I think Tau has much more of an upside. But I like Vronx. I think I like the way the guy moves. I think he's a reliable backup center midfielder. But yeah, it's not something that you can bank on in top flight Serie A and trying to get 3 points for. He's not going to be that player for you right now. Vronx also should come off too. Yeah, I would say. You don't deserve to reach the Champions League semifinals. My friend, here's what I've realized about life since I have the gray hair. It doesn't matter if you deserve it or not. If you fight for it and you get the right result and you get it, you just get it. A lot of the times, you think Milan deserved a 1-1 today? Yeah, probably. But do you think Bologna really deserved a 1-1 today based on how they performed? They got a goal in the 40th second, and that was it. They were absent for the next 92 and 20 seconds. 92 minutes and 20 seconds, they were irrelevant. So they didn't really deserve a point today, but they fought for it, they clawed for it, and they got it. So it's not always about what you deserve. It's just about getting the right result at times. Finding a way to get the right result. Why leave Rebic on the pitch for 90 minutes when he's been an awful... yeah, Rash Issa... The thing is, he probably just didn't want to bring Giroud on, right? You need Giroud to be ready for Napoli. Who are you going to replace Rebic with? You're going to have to put in a striker, and Pioli just doesn't want to make that. I don't think he wants to take that chance with a 36-year-old Giroud compared to the fact that he can take that chance with a 20-something-year-old Leao and Brahim Diaz. They still have more legs on them. Giroud probably just doesn't. So I kind of get that his hands were tied too. If you want to blame anybody, you got to blame the management and the ownership group as to the fact that we don't have depth. But I think Pioli did the best that he could with what he had on his hands. Get out of here, Roberto. Yeah, I agree with Roberto Di Nardo. Come on, man. Be nice to us. Yeah, are you a Napoli fan? Let me know. Because I feel bad for you. 4-0 and then 1-0. Man, that's gotta hurt. People saying give CDK a chance, but he does not care. He does not run for the team. We could stay away from Belgian players and go back to players, Brazilian players on Italian players. I don't want to shit on Belgian players. I don't think that's really the problem. But CDK definitely has not done what we need him to do. I don't think he does not care to run for the team. I think he's just lost. If there's anything that I see about CDK right now when he's playing is the guy just seems completely bamboozled as to what to do. A lot of the times he's getting himself in really decent positions, just doesn't do anything with it. Doesn't take the right shot, doesn't make the right decision, doesn't make the right pass. He just seems to get flustered when he's in the final third. He has an opportunity. That's where he gets flustered. When he's in the final third, when he's in the opposition's penalty box, and he has a chance. His worst decision making is in the most consequential phase, where he can actually do something. That's where he gets most confused and scared. And that's just lack of confidence. And when you're 30 games into the season and you've gotten only 1 assist, I understand that you have lack of confidence. I don't know what's gonna change him. I don't know if it's the end of the season and starting a new season will get him more refreshed, or if really if it's gonna be a new coach that can bring the best out of him. Really don't know. But any turnaround of CDK in the final 8 games will be just purely a miracle. A win on Tuesday night will soften the blow. Exactly, that's for sure. How can you build a whole team without a single player with set piece quality? This is beyond me. Yeah, but let's be real. We didn't really get any set piece opportunities anyways. In the time that we did, Florenzi did force Skorupski into a decent save. So I feel like set piece play is really just not Milan's kind of play. They do more from open play than they do from winning fouls and then taking free kicks. Tao could guard against the speed, but also the aerial threat of Osimhen though. He could. He just didn't have very good performances recently. So I think he might, it might be too big a game for him. If there's anybody who has the confidence to be able to handle those guys, probably would be Fikayo Tomori and Kalulu. And the third in line for me would be Simon Kjaer. So I don't know, but hey, Tao has shown to show a lot of heart in performances. So I give it up to him too. Rebic's drop is just shocking. Yeah, I agree with you. He used to be the guy in the second half of, I think 2 seasons in a row in the second half of the season, that guy was electric. 11 goals, 12 goals. And then now in the last 2 seasons, he's just completely dropped off. Completely. Pioli just does not learn from Empoli's game. How frustrating. But what could he have done differently, my friend? That's what I want you to tell me. What could he have done differently? Started Leao and Brahim Diaz and Theo Hernandez and Giroud. Like, what could he have done differently if he doesn't have the squad depth available to him? He cannot make things happen when he doesn't have anything available to him, right? He needs to have those options available to him in order to be able to make the right changes. If his only available options are Pobega and Bronx and Rebic and Origi, then those are the players he's going to play, right? Name your 11 for me in the comments. I'm curious to know what you would start, because I wouldn't start any of the guys that you need to play on against Napoli. I would have even understood if he dropped Maignan and played someone like Tatarusanu, because it makes sense. It's a Champions League quarterfinal match. It's Pioli's opportunity to become the first coach in Milan in 16 years to take us to a Champions League semifinal. He doesn't want to botch it. He already has a slim 1-0 lead. He has 2 of their players red carded. He has to now tackle Osimhen's return. He wants to make sure his squad is ready for the next match more than they were ready for today's match. And he was relying on his B squad to get the job done so that he can become the coach who takes Milan to a semifinal of the Champions League. So that would be quite a significant turnaround for AC Milan. Going from a banter era team from 4 years ago to playing in the Champions League semifinal alongside Real Madrid, alongside, who else is in there? Manchester City, possibly Inter, and Milan. Now, that is an incredible return to prominence for both the Milan clubs after 9 years of dominance from Juventus. That those are the 4 teams that make the Champions League semifinal. That's crazy. And Pioli doesn't want to mess that up. Bologna doesn't matter to him right now. Good point. If Milan makes semifinals, let's not say if, let's say when, right? It feels a little bit better. So when Milan makes the semifinals, Pioli will definitely be rotating against Spezia on the 14th ahead of the second. Of course. An opportunity to play against Inter or Benfica in the Champions League semifinal, most likely Inter based on current results. When Inter and Milan play each other in the semifinal of a Champions League, anything is possible. Any team can win. It really does not matter what your form is, what your this or that is. As long as you have 2 healthy squads, anybody can win. The point is having 8 games, but still have to rest at least 2 games if we go to the semis. True. Very good point. These bad rotations will come back and haunt us again. Not bad rotations. Lack of depth would be a more fair comment for me. The fact our big money signing is in our B team is a joke. Hey, good point. Origi's in the B team. Freaking CDK's in the B team. Very true. What do you expect from Milan in second leg? Park a bus or go out there and play more freely and try to get the second goal? I seeing what Milan did against Tottenham, we weren't really parking the bus. The benefit was that we did play the second match away from home as well, and we did express ourselves. I don't know, man. It's going to be a hard one. Playing Napoli away from home, Napoli's going to go come out all guns blazing. No doubt about it. They have no reason to fear Milan because they have already they've already solidified their number 1 place. They're already ready to win the Serie A. They have a 13-point lead, I think, on Lazio, and have a game in hand. So they potentially have a 16-point lead in hand. So for Napoli, they're like, hey, we can even drop the next game, lose 3 points, and still focus on Milan and get the right result. So they're going to come all guns blazing. Right now, for me, Napoli are favorites to make it to the semifinal. But with a 1-0 lead, if Milan had capitalized on that red card and gotten a second or a third goal, I would be talking very differently. But the fact that we didn't, I think Napoli are still favorites. But we're 100% in the game. It's pretty much a split tie, maybe a 55-45 in favor of Napoli is what I mean. I don't want to jinx, but if Milan win a Champions League or even reach final, Pioli's a Milan legend for me. Pioli's already a Milan legend for me, man. He took us from the banter era with a squad that was not expected to win, with a squad that was doubtful of even making top 4. He made us Serie A champions. He's a Milan legend for me for sure. The last time I saw Milan win a Serie A title was with Max Allegri. Before that was Carlo Ancelotti. So, for me, Pioli's a Milan legend already. No question about that. All right, guys. How are we doing? Looks like we're about 2 hours and 20 minutes in. I did exceed my timeline. I was supposed to go for about 2:15. Once again, I really appreciate you guys joining. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, please hit the like button as well. Once again, before you guys exit, try and get this video to go over 40 likes. That would really be a helpful thing that you can do here. But I think at this point in time, we've pretty much discussed this whole thing. I'll be back with a preview for Milan-Napoli. I'll be back with my 4 takeaways for after the Napoli match. I'm back from my 7-week hiatus where I went to a few different countries. I like to do that. I have no plans of leaving anytime soon. So I'll be here. I'll be ready with my videos. Make sure you guys check it out. And again, I really do appreciate you guys joining. And, as always, let's do it.